It's Jasmine here to film my wrap up for the month of November, and I'm gonna try and work really fast because my phone doesn't have any storage on it and it'll cut off if I don't. So yeah, the first book I read in November was The Retribution of Mary Dyer by Michelle Hudkin, and it was the last in the series, and I've been waiting like 2 years for it, and it was perfect. And then I read Conversion by Catherine Ho, and this one was kind of just weird. Like, I didn't really know what to expect. It was really, really unique, and I liked how it took, like, a real-life thing and turned it into this amazing story, but it was still just kind of weird. And then I read Made for You by Melissa Marr, and it's been a really long time since I've read a book by Melissa Marr, so I was really, really impressed with this story. It was, like, kind of like a thriller, and it was really, really good. And then I read Fire Wish by Amber Lowe, and you don't see teeny stories a lot, and I thought that this was just really, really awesome. Like, I thought it was so cool. It had like twins, and it had genies, and it had war going on, and it was cool. And then I read We Were Liars by E. Lockhart, and I'm not really sure how I feel about this book, honestly. It was kind of confusing, and then the twist at the end kind of like threw me for a loop, but at the same time, it was cool how it could just, like, totally make you rethink everything that you just read, and it was super short, so, yeah. And then I did a series binge, and I reread Article 5 before I read Breaking Point, and then I read 3. I'm a really big fan of this series. I loved Article 5 when I read it the first time, and I don't know why I didn't keep going with the series. I've become, like, so bad about that lately. So I was glad to finally get caught up in the series and see how it all ended, and I loved it, and yeah. So I actually started my December TBR off with another series binge, and I read The Darkest Minds, and then I read Never Fade, and then I read In the Afterlife, all by Alexandra Bracken, and I'm so behind on this series. Like, everyone loves this series, talks about how amazing it is, like, all the time, and I just have taken forever to read it, and I'm so glad I did because I loved it, and it was amazing, and I'm sad it's over, and I just don't know what to do with myself, but that's okay. Next, I'm going to read Like No Other by Una LaMarche. I'm not really sure. This is just kind of a fun contemporary about people stuck in an elevator, I believe. I kind of just wanted something happy after being sad about my series ending. So, yeah. And then I'm going to read Unmade by Sarah Reese Brennan. This series is known for having awful cliffhanger endings, and the second book had an awful cliffhanger ending, so I have been dying to read this to know how it all ends, and I can't wait to get to it. And then I have The Truth About Alice by Jennifer Matthew, and this is really, really short, and I've heard mixed things. I've heard some really, really good things, and then I've heard some pretty bad things, so we'll just have to see how I like it. Oh, I don't have enough room. Next, I want to read Little White Lies by Katie Dale. This actually just came out in the month of December. I had no idea that this came out so far in advance. But this is another contemporary, but not a happy contemporary, more of like a suspenseful, serious contemporary, I believe. And then I'm going to read Blue Lily, Lily Blue by Maggie Stiefvater. I love this series, and I love Maggie Stiefvater, and I cannot wait to see where the series is going, and I know the next book is the last one, so things are probably about to get crazy. Oh. And then I have What I Thought Was True by Huntley Fitzpatrick. I love Huntley Fitzpatrick, and contemporary is my favorite, or one of my favorites, and I just need a little happy in my to-read stack, and I think that this will give it to me, and plus it's absolutely gorgeous in every way possible, so yeah. And then the last book I have on my to-read stack is Unmarked by Cami Garcia. This is the second book in her Legion series, and the first one was really, really super, like, fun and creepy, and I know this one is going to continue with that theme, and I'm excited about it. I love the characters, and I can't wait to see where it goes. Okay, I don't know how I just filmed that in 4.5 minutes. High five. I'm gonna high five myself because that was awesome. So I hope you guys are having a great year, and what else do I say? Keep an eye out for reviews, and I will see you next month. Bye, guys.